When we think of exports, we usually picture goods like cars and semiconductors. But today, the spotlight is shifting towards service exports. Intangible offerings like IT, content, and tourism that are traded across borders. In fact, while goods exports have stagnated since the global financial crisis, the share of services trade has steadily increased. Especially for Korea, with growing trade uncertainties and China rapidly closing the technology gap, maintaining high growth in goods exports is becoming more difficult. That's why expanding service exports is now more essential than ever. In fact, Korea's growth in service exports has been relatively sluggish compared to other major economies. Since 2010, the average annual growth rate was just 3.8%. That's lower than not only emerging economies like India and China, but also advanced countries like the United States and the United Kingdom. As a result, Korea's share in the global market dropped from 1.9% to 1.6%. What caused this downturn? On the external front, Korea falls behind advanced countries in areas such as IP usage charges and professional and business services, while struggling to compete in information and communication services against emerging economies that rely on low labor costs. On the domestic front, Korea's service exports have largely remained supplementary to goods exports, lacking the competitiveness needed to take a leading role in global value chains. Nevertheless, there are hopeful signs. One notable trend is the rapid growth of intellectual service exports, which have been expanding at an impressive average annual rate of 13.4%, outpacing most other countries. Intellectual service exports fall into four main categories: IP usage charges, information and communication, cultural and leisure, and professional and business. Among the four categories, IP usage charges hold the largest share, followed by professional and business services. Cultural and leisure service exports currently account for the smallest portion, but with the expansion of OTT platforms, they are expected to play a more significant role going forward. Two key factors explain the growth of intellectual service exports. First, convergence between manufacturing and services is accelerating. In Korea, companies are increasingly offering cloud-based solutions with mobile devices, reflecting the growing convergence of technology and services. Another major factor is Korea's notable achievements in content sectors such as K-pop, games, and webtoons, which have gained global recognition independent of the manufacturing industry. Still, there are areas that call for improvement. Much of Korea's intellectual property exports occur between local headquarters and their foreign subsidiaries. Their ability to develop IP based on original technologies for broader markets remains weak, leading to continued import reliance. In addition, while video content is exported through global platforms, high platform dependence limits the ability to secure intellectual property rights and generate additional revenue. It is now time to reassess the potential of the service sector and for companies to actively expand investment in intangible assets and service-related areas. Above all, bold regulatory reforms by the government are essential, along with efforts to identify and nurture talent early in fields like R&D and artistic creation.